Yeah, Monday. What's up, everybody? Monday morning. Hope you guys having a great day. Welcome to this edition of the DMC. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. We're going to go ahead and get rolling today looking at our opportunities for breakouts and reversals from an educator's perspective. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get the alerts and the updates and all of that fun jazz. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right in. So, S&P this morning, we are up 19 points. NASDAQ is up 83. We were down last night when we did the live trade room, but we have since started to have a little bit of strength. Now, we looked at a couple of levels last evening in both the NASDAQ and the S&P as potential areas where we could see reversals on the 15-minute chart. And really, it was getting back to the origin of a very strong drop in price. And we did make it back to that origin of that very strong drop in price. But notice we had this set up as a confirmation entry, simply because we knew by the time we would get up there that it had to make sense, and really it didn't. We cut right through the level, telling us no entry. And if you notice, we came back to actually down to the opposing demand level because we had basing in front of the level anyway. So we are sitting now just below a potential breakout point, and the breakout point that we're looking at here is this 4171 area. Now the better level is up here at 4,200 because this is our prior pivot from the daily chart going all the way back to June 1st. We're up about 10% in the last month overall in the S&P, continuing our bullish movement. But just be aware that as we start to head up, there are some decent areas of supply up above us that we need to pay attention to. So I think that a breakout above 4171 could be a pretty decent entry today. I do like that we're basing here a little bit. A little bit more basing would actually be beneficial for a high quality entry. I think if we get a little bit of a pullback this morning, you could have a little reversal area here at this wick over wick area formed at a pretty good time of the evening. So look at that for a potential long. In the NASDAQ, we are coming into the origin of this very strong drop, right? Coming into this origin of this very strong drop. But notice, this is our opposing demand, which means if we take this trade up here, it only gives us about a 1-to-1 reward to risk. Remember, basing before a level is what we call the KOD, kiss of death. And so I'm going to remove this at this point. I don't know that I've got the same breakout candidate in the NASDAQ that I do in the S&P. It's just not quite the same picture. But our NASDAQ, we would want to get higher than this area right here for any sort of a super quality entry. Going back a bit further in the NASDAQ on the 4-hour chart, we do have a pretty decent supply area right up in here. But in the NASDAQ, we're almost up to where we were in May. We're up to the May 1st highs, whereas in the S&P we're only up to the June 1st highs. And so the NASDAQ did overcome those highs and certainly has room to go a bit higher. The Russell 2000, actually, when we look at the Russell had a big move down on Friday like all the other markets, but actually has gone up through that and continued to rally higher. And so it was really the best one for a breakout trade in the overnight. It did give us a bit of a breakout. Continuing to run. Look for this 1943 area to be a potential turning point. And really, if we go back and look at that, that goes all the way to this little rally base, very nice drop out of this area. And so I'm not saying that would be a great place to go short. If you want to take that, it has to be a confirmation entry because our trend is definitely an upward trend. But it could give you a good 2-to-1 out of there, provided we don't get too much basing into that level, using maybe 1922 as a target for your short up here at 1943. Let's see, moving over to crude oil and gold. So crude oil, we're sitting right above a decent breakout area right now. Actually just gave us a little bit of a break, so this actually sets up very nicely for a breakout. If you want to take this, your stop has to go up above 90, primarily because that's your last pivot. But you certainly have an opportunity for a breakout here. If you don't like the breakout, I really like this as a reversal. I'm going to put this alert right here just to let me know when we get back up above that area, because that's a really nice reversal point. Those are kind of the ones I look for the most. It's a drop, base drop, wick over wick below a pivot high, formed at a really good time of the day for a decent entry. So I think the breakout trade is also a very strong trade and a very good way to go from this level. I think that longer term price could continue to fall a little bit further and maybe turn this into a bit of a swing trade. In gold, I was looking last night at this level right here for a potential 15-minute reversal. We did get a little bit of a move away to, we'd taken a little entry here, got a little bit of a move away, not quite what I wanted, the 1786 level. It stopped at 1787. But, if you look at this, it didn't hit the stop, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles later, it had gone nowhere, right? And when you go 6 candles without going anywhere, it's typically not a good idea. Price is probably not going to work. And then look at that, boom, pops right through that particular level, which is why we have the 6 candle rule in place to begin with. Now, if you want to look at this upper area, which the equities markets blew right through this level, so I wouldn't be surprised to see gold do the same. I think that you could have a bit of a short-term reversal there. And you've got a decent little demand area that was formed in the overnight there, 1794 by 1792, for a potential reversal in this level. Now, these are all 15-minute zones, and 15-minute zones means that we're not going to wait around for price to move out of that level. It's got to move out of that level within 6 candles on the 15-minute time frame, or it's no longer going to be a valid entry. So I don't have a whole lot else. Nat gas is chopping between areas of supply and demand. We talked about this as a potential gap and go. So if you're interested in that, I think it's just now giving you an entry for potential gap and go, target down at 7.65. So it's giving you a decent little move. We came back up to our copper level in the overnights. We were looking at this one last night, and copper did come up into that level in the overnight hours, sold off back to our target. So I'm going to remove this area here. And then a breakdown does still very much exist below 35331. We've got some really nice basing here. We break down below there, there's room to roam to 34,966. So I think copper actually gives you a pretty good entry later today. Bonds, currencies, there wasn't a whole lot to speak of. We did have in the euro a level that I thought was going to be okay. We cut right through that thing. Didn't even give it a stop. But oftentimes old resistance acts as new support. And look at this. We've bounced off of this level twice, and so gotten a decent move out of that zone. Next thing to look at would be, do we reverse when we get back up to this 1.026 area for a move down? Remember, this is a speed candle. The origin of a speed candle is typically going to be a place where markets want to retrace and we see a reversal. So those are some decent markets for today. Hopefully, if you have any questions, shoot us an email, support@tradersarmy.com. I will talk to you soon. See ya. Hey, thanks for joining us. If you like what we do, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way the computers know that you're actually alive and really care. And go to tradersarmy.com today to learn a bit more. And if you want to see some of our other videos, click here in the box.